The Zephyrian interrogation chamber hummed with malevolent energy as Commander Vextal studied the human specimen suspended in crystalline restraints. After 3 cycles of imprisonment, the creature should have been broken, its spirit crushed, beneath the weight of their most sophisticated psychological warfare techniques. Instead, prisoner 7749X continued to smile. "Your defiance grows tiresome, human," Vextal hissed through his translator, his scaled features contorting with frustration. The Zephyrians had conquered 17 species across 4 star systems, each one eventually succumbing to their methods. Humans were supposed to be no different. The prisoner, Marcus Chen, according to his captured identification, flexed against his bonds with an almost casual indifference. His clothes were torn, his face bore the marks of interrogation, yet his eyes burned with an intensity that made even the seasoned commander uncomfortable. "You know what I find interesting about your people?" Marcus said, his voice carrying despite the energy dampeners designed to weaken his resolve. "You've built this entire empire on the assumption that suffering breaks the spirit. But you've never encountered a species that builds character from it." Vextal activated the neural pain inducer, flooding Marcus's nervous system with agony that would have rendered most beings catatonic. The human's jaw clenched, sweat beaded on his forehead, but he never looked away. "Humans," Marcus continued through gritted teeth, "have a saying, 'What doesn't kill you makes you stronger,' though I prefer the version that goes, 'What doesn't kill you has made a tactical error.'" The commander deactivated the device, disturbed by the prisoner's resilience. In 3 days of interrogation, they had extracted nothing about human military capabilities, ship movements, or colony locations. Worse, Marcus had somehow been gleaning information about Zephyrian operations simply by observing his captor's reactions and questions. "Your homeworld will burn," Vextal threatened. "Your colonies will be glassed. Your species will serve the hegemony or face extinction." Marcus laughed, actually laughed, and the sound echoed through the chamber like a challenge to the universe itself. "You really don't understand what you're dealing with, do you? Every species you've conquered had something to lose. They had paradise worlds, utopian societies, peace they were desperate to preserve." The human's restraints flickered momentarily as he shifted position, and Vextal made a mental note to increase power to the containment field. "Humans," Marcus continued, "we've been fighting each other for millennia. Wars, plagues, disasters. We've survived ice ages and asteroid impacts. We've rebuilt from nuclear ashes and conquered diseases that should have ended us. We don't have paradise, Commander. We have something far more dangerous." "And what is that?" Vextal found himself asking despite his better judgment. "Experience." As if to punctuate his words, the lights in the detention facility flickered. Emergency klaxons began wailing in the distance. Through the chamber's observation port, explosions bloomed like deadly flowers against the station's hull. "Impossible," Vextal snarled. "No one knows the location of this facility. It's shielded, hidden in the Kraxar Nebula." Marcus's smile widened. "You really should have paid more attention during interrogation. Every question you asked, every reaction you had, every security protocol you accidentally revealed, I was listening, learning, and transmitting." The commander's scaled skin paled to a sickly green. "The restraints block all neural activity. You cannot what? Cannot use the trace electromagnetic pulses generated by your own interrogation equipment to encode messages? Cannot modulate my bioelectric field in patterns your sensors would interpret as stress responses, but were actually coordinate data?" Marcus flexed again, and this time the crystalline bonds cracked audibly. "You studied human psychology but ignored human ingenuity." The station shuddered as human warships unleashed their fury against Zephyrian defenses. Vextal watched in horror as his supposedly impregnable fortress crumbled under an assault that should have been impossible to coordinate. 3 days, Marcus said, as his restraints finally shattered, powered down by cascading system failures throughout the station. "You had me for 3 days, and I've compromised your entire forward operating base. That's not human stubbornness, Commander. That's human efficiency." Vextal reached for his sidearm, but Marcus was already moving. The human's combat training, dormant during captivity, exploded into action. In seconds, the Zephyrian commander found himself on the floor, his weapon in human hands. "Here's what's going to happen," Marcus said, checking the weapon's charge. "You're going to open every cell in this facility. Every human, every alien prisoner you've taken is walking out of here. Then you're going to send a message to your hegemony." "What message?" Vextal gasped. Marcus looked down at the defeated alien commander, and for the first time, his expression wasn't one of defiance or anger. It was pity. "That you tried to break the wrong species. Humans don't break, Commander. We adapt, we overcome, and when you back us into a corner..." The sound of liberation echoed through the facility as cell doors opened and prisoners began their escape. "We don't just break free of our chains." The human gestured toward the viewport, where Zephyrian ships were falling like dying stars before the human fleet's advance. "We break yours." As rescue shuttles docked with the crippled station and human marines poured through the corridors, Vextal finally understood the truth that would reshape the galaxy. They hadn't captured a human. They had awakened one, and that made all the difference.